Hi friends, my name is Chloe Taylor and I'm the creator of kozykale. In this video, I'm going to be talking about your Mars placement. I'm going to be sharing with you how you can find it, what it means, and if you're cross-watching for other people, you can also look at their Mars placements if you have access to it to learn a little bit more about them. There are timestamps listed down below this video, so if you already know your Mars placement and you don't need all the information, you can just jump right to the placement information, so feel free to do so. So what is Mars? Mars is actually the fourth planet in our solar system, and it actually falls outside of the orbit of Earth. Though Mars has a daylight and a nighttime cycle just the way that Earth does, and they're actually pretty similar. I want to say they're both around the 24-hour mark. The orbit of Mars actually takes 687 days, so almost twice the amount of time to orbit the sun that the Earth does. And Mars was actually named after the Roman god of war, Mars. And your Mars placement in astrology will show how you show your aggressive nature, your anger, sexuality. We're not really going to talk a lot about sex in this video. Maybe we'll do that in a future video, kind of going over like astrology and sex. But in this video, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus more on the aggressive nature of people. And Mars is resembled by this symbol here. So if you're looking at a chart and you don't understand all those symbols, this is the symbol that represents Mars. And Mars also rules over the sign of Aries. So if you are a sun sign in Aries or have major Aries energy in your charts, Mars plays a major role in your life. So how do you find your Mars placement? Let me show you. If you are on mobile, all right, you're going to want to head to astroseek.com. It's astro-seek. This is just the website I use. There are a lot of websites. You're going to click on astrology charts. You're going to plug in your information. I'm just going to leave that at what it is. You don't need your birth time to find your Mars placement, so don't worry about that. And you're going to want to put the place that you were born. And then you're going to want to scroll all the way down and then back up just a little bit to this chart right here. And if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 placements down, so it says planet positions, 5 down, it says Mars right there. And if you look directly across, you can see where your Mars sign is. This person's chart, random AF, is a Mars placement in Pisces. So you would go with this Pisces, jump to it in the time card section down below. If you're unsure of those symbols, the little like zodiac symbols, if you're unfamiliar with them, go ahead and just check the timestamps because they will be listed as probably little emojis, so you can kind of compare and figure out which one yours is. But that's how you find it. So if you are in Aries Mars, congratulations, you are right at home in your natal sign, and it's very comfortable here for you. You are somebody that definitely can get ignited very quickly in an argument, but you also cool off very quickly. You are honest, brave, but you also sometimes lack tact. And you are somebody who you don't really, you don't necessarily have the tact to deal with people that are a little bit more sensitive by nature. You actually will just explode. And this can be really hard for other people that are more in their feelings to receive you fully. You are somebody that will aggressively go after your passions because Mars also deals with your passions in life and how you will aggressively go after them or not. You are somebody who will aggressively pursue something that you're passionate about. And that's really like the major key points of Aries and Mars, is that you're very quick to ignite, very quick to cool off, and just like all around, it's a very comfortable position for you. It doesn't bother you to really stir things up. You're over it. But again, just be careful because sometimes your words can be really cutting to other people who do not have that same placement, and they will be more angry for a longer period of time at you. If you are a Taurus Mars, you are somebody that has the aggressive passion to go after anything that is important to you. You are somebody that has the stamina to continue to push toward it. Taurus is the slow and steady sign, so having a Mars placement here, you're somebody that very I wouldn't say is like methodical. You're just really good at putting your head down and continuing to push forward in things. You are also somebody that can be very stubborn in an argument. Taurus is notoriously known for being stubborn. My husband is a Taurus Mars, and let me tell you, I think he actually is more stubborn than even I as a Taurus sun is, and he will back me up on that. He is very stubborn, especially in an argument. But when you become combative and argumentative, you are somebody that it's not easy for you to drop how you're feeling and drop your aggression. You will tend to just think that you are correct, and you will pour that aggression right into it. If you are a Gemini Mars, you are someone that is very highly intellectual. And I wouldn't say that Gemini Mars is somebody that really enjoys stirring the pot. You are somebody, though, that in terms of working towards achieving something or being passionate about something, you actually enjoy the buildup more than you actually enjoy accomplishing said thing. So a lot of times you will work on something, get really passionate right up front, and then you'll lose stamina as you're going along. You are someone that in an argument, you know how to just keep the conversation going. You know how to like continually express yourself, but I feel like Gemini Mars can often dig themselves into a hole because they're so good at like embellishing things and storytelling things that, like, I swear to God, Gemini Mars is that person that will give like fake news. Like they will be the ones giving the fake facts and like, well, you said this, and this, and then they'll like throw things in that like exaggerate the actual like issue. And before you know it, you'll be so far off kilter from where the argument even originated from, because Gemini is just like they are just like very fast mental paced people. So prepare yourself for that if you are a Gemini Mars, or you are somebody that is in contact with a Gemini Mars, or you're arguing with a Gemini Mars. If you are a Cancer Mars, what up, squad? I'm also a Cancer Mars. You have amazing willpower, but the willpower and drive to go forward at things, it's like you kind of hit things over time. Cancer is ruled by the moon, which rules over the ocean. And so if you are aggressively going after something, it's going to kind of work like the ocean. It's going to come in waves. You're going to go in really hard, and then it's going to draw back. And then you're going to go in really hard, and then it's going to draw back. And it's kind of the same way in an argument. You're someone that is going to like hit somebody with a bomb, and then you're going to kind of draw back and see how you feel about it. And then you're going to come back out and hit them again with something else. And you kind of have to be really careful. I'm not going to lie to you. Arguing with someone like me sucks because I don't let shit go. I'm a grudge holder to the core. And I'm someone that will sit and pick apart the conversation after it's over for years. And I will continually bring up old shit. Like, get this bitch a plunger. She loves bringing up old shit. That is so me. Cancer Mars, I feel like, does not easily forgive. And I also feel like Cancer Mars is a lot more prone to emotional outbursts if you get them in their feelings. This one is interesting, and I feel like this I just want to say, because if you are a Cancer Mars, I need to know if you feel similar. But I feel like when I am like in the heat of an argument and I am like yelling, I am the first person to start crying, like angry tears. I am the first person who will be yelling but crying. Like, did any of y'all Cancer Mars feel me on that? Because I feel like it's one of two things. I'm either yelling and crying at the same time, or I'm completely closed off and I'm so like upset that I'm just taking time to kind of bring that wave back in and like brood on it before I send it back out. So let me know if you guys feel similarly if you're a Cancer Mars. If you are a Leo Mars, you are somebody who always is making plans and have a great drive to see them through. You guys are amazing, ambitious leaders. You're really skilled at claiming the attention of others as well, because you are so here for the theatrics and you love praise. So you are somebody that can like really steam up a situation as well. In an argument when provoked, you can, however, come off as very arrogant and egotistical if you're not careful. I do feel like Leo placements in general get a really bad rap for being ego, especially because they are ruled by the sun, which is our ego in a lot of ways. But I feel like y'all get a really bad rap in the heat of the moment for being egotistical. So I do feel like that's there. You have the potential to be that way. But I always kind of like to try to look at both things. Like I never just want to sit here and like shit on a zodiac placement. That's just not me. I feel like we all have really genuine qualities that are important to everything. We all have the ability to get along with everyone if we try. So I will say this, I don't think you guys are always invested in your ego in terms of having a Mars placement, but you definitely have the ability to argue that way. And it can come off as very arrogant and egotistical, so be very careful with that. But you guys have like an insane amount of drive, and when you are deeply passionate about something, you will get things done. And as I said, you guys are like the leaders. Y'all are like the Gryffindors of the world. If you are a Virgo Mars, you are somebody who needs to get things done in a very systematic way. If you are pursuing something aggressively, you have a system about it. This is very typical of a lot of Virgo energy and Virgo placements. Things are just very meticulously done. You are very calculating in your mind, and you are successful in positions that require you to actually put your emotions aside. So you are someone that, if like you are in a work environment, you are there for work. It's easy for you to put aside how you're feeling and actually just get the job done, which honestly, I am hella envious of that. We have so much Virgo energy in my family's charts. Someday I'm gonna like do a complete shade video on my family, and I'm just gonna freaking expose them all for the little Virgos in sheep's clothing that they are, because I'm one too in a way. Do the family expose. I say this because there's 7 kids in my family and it's a mess, but there are some Virgo Mars people in my family, and it blows my mind how true that is. In any argument, you are always going to be the person, though, that is really well calculated. Even if I feel like you don't always know what you're talking about, you know how to make it sound like you know what you're talking about. Similarly to Gemini, I feel like Gemini has the capacity to do that as well in this kind of scenario. But you're never just going to like say things just to say them. They're very well calculated. So yeah, it's a mood. If you are a Libra Mars, you actually do not like to stir the pot. You are somebody that is there for fairness. You want to deal things and make everybody like happy. And so you are somebody that actually really doesn't like stirring the pot with people. And that's in a general sense as well with Libra, but in a Mars placement specifically, you're not really here to be combative. You are actually more someone who can be a really great mediator for people and not the aggressor. So you actually play really well in like listening to drama go down and helping people sift through it instead of actually being the person that's in the middle involved. I feel like Libra Mars people are the people that are like, I don't like drama, but I love hearing it. And so you are actually a wonderful mediator. You just don't want to be the one stirring the pot. And in terms of the workplace for Libra, you guys are just so excellent at like any kind of creative projects that can be brought your way. You guys are amazing at putting in the passion-driven work around it. When it's something that you truly see beauty in, it is something that you can definitely go full blunt force at. If you are a Scorpio Mars, God help you. You are the kind of person, much like Virgo, in making very calculated things. I feel like Scorpio takes it 10 layers deeper than that, though. Scorpio, to me, is the sign in a Mars placement where they will collect and collect and collect all of the frickin' data. And then when they are ready to make their like crazy strike, they are the people that will strike to hurt and be like, oh yeah, you said this, this, and this. Let me tell you how for the last 8 months, every way that is not true. Y'all are super calculated and very, very, very into, you kind of have to think about it like the Scorpion, because Scorpio is resembled by the scorpion, right? So what does scorpions do? They have the tail that knows how to sting. So they will sit and wait and hunt and hunt and hunt, and then they will sting right at the appropriate moment. So Scorpio Mars, y'all are scary. You can be very, very ruthless with people in your life because of that. And I feel like that makes people a little bit scared. You also tend to thrive a little bit more on danger. You kind of are a little bit of a thrill seeker in terms of going after things aggressively. You are somebody that's there for the thrills. You like that little dangerous edge. And in terms of work and going after things, you guys are very deeply passionate, but I feel like you don't often show that to the world unless it's coming out in a creative way. So you guys would probably make really excellent writers. You guys would make anything that you can do in more of an isolated way. I feel like you guys would be really, 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 really great at like aggressively pursuing something that you are allowed to be a little more isolated in practicing. But yeah, y'all are scary. If you are a Sagittarius Mars, you are easily distracted. I feel like you guys, it's hard to actually make a Sagittarius Mars really mad. And the best way to back a Sagittarius Mars into a corner is to like basically tell them that they don't know shit and you know it all. Because like if you can get there, like, not that I'm trying to tell you how to do this. I actually don't know if I know any Sagittarius Mars placements. Maybe my mom. She might be a Sagittarius Mars. I'm not sure. But like, not that you need to back them into a corner, but you know what? We're talking about Mars today. It is what it is. The best way to back a Sagittarius Mars into a corner is to like disprove everything that they're saying. Like if they think that they have all this factual information, you're just like, nope, that's not true. And here's why. Nope, that's not true. And here's why. Nope, that's not true. And here's why. They literally become a mess. And that is like how you will make them the most angry and provoke them the most. Because I feel like Sagittarian placements are very chill and easygoing and they're not easy to work up, but you can work them up if you come at them with that factual, logical information. But you know what? The thing is that Sagittarian placements are so calculated, not calculated, that's the wrong word, but they are so like into learning and understanding and knowing things that I feel like in a lot of ways you'd be hell pressed to find something they didn't know. So good luck. However, I will say this, Sagittarius definitely has a knack for being a little bit more lazy in terms of aggression. They're not going to actively pursue a lot of things, but when they do, they don't always actively pursue things aggressively, but when they do, it kind of comes in short bursts. They are the people that they will do something really, 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 really well for like, they are the people that could coach themselves to do things in like 20-minute sprints. They could go hard on something for 20 minutes, take a couple hour break, go hard on something for 20 minutes, take a couple hour break. That is probably like the best working environment for them, is to just work really, really, really hard, but have like moments of like relaxation in between. Sagittarius Mars people are also very quick-witted. They are very quick-witted. And so they are the people that will like, I don't even know how to explain that, but like in a heated argument, they are able to kind of twist the conversation around how they want to, because they are so quick-witted and like quick on their feet with thinking about it. So they tricky. If you are a Capricorn Mars, you can be extremely commanding and authoritative. You definitely do not let obstacles set you back. You guys are much like Taurus in the way that you can just kind of steamroll things. You're not going to let a lot of things hold you back. You are extremely self-resilient. And honestly, I feel like in arguments, Capricorn can be very cold, as they often are in a lot of major placements, but they're kind of like, this is how I think it is, and I don't really care what you think. And they also don't really have time for people that just want to sit and like blubber. This is the same way I think with a Capricorn Mercury placement. They don't really have time. Like if you're sitting there crying and angry, like people, don't ever put me next to a Capricorn Mars. With my Cancer Mars self, we are such polar opposites that normally polar opposites like super attract, but I feel like a Capricorn Mars would have no patience for me. Like, I feel like they would just look at someone like me and just be like, oh my God, you're being so ridiculous. Stop. So I feel like they don't really deal in a lot of empathy necessarily. They tend to be more of like, well, just gonna pull my pants up and get the damn thing done. And so when you bring that into a Mars placement, they can kind of have this attitude of like, your feelings don't matter. This is how it is. Deal with it, honey. If you are an Aquarius Mars, you are very, very mentally expressional. You guys already kind of are very like up in your heads anyways. I think a lot of people call Aquarians like the airheads. I personally stan an Aquarius placement. They are my favorite sign of the zodiac. I know we're not supposed to have favorites, but Aquarians, y'all are the crown jewel of the zodiac. I love an Aquarius, which is funny because if you look at a lot of my chart information, I feel like that doesn't make sense that I would love an Aquarius, but I really do. You work really well in group settings, group atmospheres. You're somebody that can actually take charge and lead groups in like a passion project. You're somebody that could really take up the leadership. I have a sister that is like 4 times an Aquarius, literally. She is... Actually, I think there's 5. I think she has 5 Aquarius placements. She is literally like an Aquarius sun, moon, Venus, Mars, and something else. She's a Cancer Mars like me. But she has so much Aquarius energy in her chart. It's insane. And she really is that bitch. Like at work, she has a Cancer Mars though, but she still has all that influential Aquarius energy. She really is that bitch though, that is out there like leading people at work. In her field of work, I've noticed that my sister tends to be someone that always is able to kind of climb the ranks and lead and command other people. And she's like very friendly. People like love her as a boss, which is amazing. And Aquarians will always fight for freedom. I don't feel like they are people that really want to sit and be combative and argumentative, but if there is even like a whiff of them losing freedom over something in an argument, they will fight you to the death on it. And last but certainly not least, if you are a Pisces Mars, you do have a power to stir up strong, intense feelings in people, but you're not natively aggressive. You also have a very compelling imagination. And I feel like for you guys, if you really funnel that into something passion driven and something that you really believe in, you guys can literally create magic out of thin air and have the drive to go towards anything you want to. But I don't really feel like you guys are extremely combative, but I feel like, interestingly enough, a lot of major Piscean energy in someone's chart, to me, symbolizes the potential to be an empath, whether that be a lot of Piscean energy or just 12th house placements, if you're into astrology and know about houses. If there's a lot of 12th house activity going on, you guys a lot of time tend to be empaths. And so I feel like you guys have just like almost an unconscious power to stir up aggression in other people, which really sucks. Because when you are an empath, a lot of times you can be a mirror empath. And this will actually cause you to mirror the parts of people that they don't like about themselves out. And so they will look at you and see things about themselves that they don't like and don't want to address and face, and it will cause aggression in them towards you. So I feel like you guys actually have a really strong power to do that. It's not everyone, I won't say, but a lot of you guys are like that, and it sucks because you will attract a lot of combative people, and that's very hard for Pisces because you are so here for understanding the follies of man. So I do feel like you guys can stir the pot, but it's not intentional. And you have such a deep passion for so many creative endeavors. I feel like you guys are, to me, almost as passionately creative as like a Libra. I think you guys are definitely on different strains of it, but I feel like it's a very similar, you guys really can be so deeply entranced and passionate about things and really go the distance to make them a reality. But that is all I have for you guys with Mars signs. Thank you so very much for watching. Please do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, as well as check out both of my podcasts linked down below. One is Kozykale, which is my podcast on manifestation and basically my spiritual awakening and like kind of like life and self-help stuff. And then Twin Flames podcast, which is a podcast that I co-host with my IRL twin flame, where we talk about spirituality and psychology. She is actually in her master's master's program for psychology. And obviously I bring a lot of spirituality to the table. So we both host that together, and it's such a good time. We're actually going to be making our big debut back from a couple month break in January of 2020. So make sure you're following that. Both podcasts are available on all major platforms. And if you would like to book me for a personal tarot reading, a link for that down below. And I will see you guys in a future video. Bye. Hi there, I'm Chloe Taylor, and I'm the Okay. And in this video, there are also timestamps on this video listed down below that if you already know your placement and things like that, Shit, I think I fucked up that Venus video. Great. Oh, my eyeball is itchy. I hope this lighting looks okay. I feel like the sun is peeking in and it's like directing towards my camera right now, and I hope it's not a mood.